Hi everyone, welcome back to Amplify episode 5. Before we start the interview with our guest, I just wanted to share some news. Today I released my track Leave No Trace. And I'm super excited to share it with you because it took me 2 years to finish the track. So really happy. If you want to watch the mood video, make sure you click on that link in my bio. And now back to Amplify. When I listen to her voice, I actually have goosebumps. The first time I heard her song, I was in a crowded train with my noise cancelling headset, and it just electrified me. She's a songwriter, music producer, a mom, and my personal piano rock star. So without further ado, Phildel.
So first of all, I am shocked because you agreed to this interview. Seriously, I'm calling you from my flat in Lviv, Ukraine, and I'm sitting on the floor because I was too stressed out that not going to be able to stand up or be just on the couch. I have my, I have my essential oil near me just in case I'm going to like pass out or something.
Oh,
This is
it's
awesome.
a pleasure.
Seriously, thank
It's a
you
pleasure
so
to be
much.
with you.
You are connected from England, from London, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm in Brighton.
In Brighton.
Yeah, which is by the sea in England. So yeah, it's nice.
So I wanted to welcome you to my show, which is called Amplify. It's created on the just a regular basis to talk to people and understand how they are succeeding in life and try to create some positive change for others and give some chance and hope and inspiration for others because for instance, I'm a financial guy who is a dreamer and wants to be a musician. So a couple of years back, I started making music. Now I want to know more from others, like how did they do it and how did they make it, and I also want to give some hope to others.
Mm.
So first of all, you are Phildel. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep, that's right, Phildel. Yep.
Can you tell us, please, where did you grow up? Oh, well, no. Let me start that I'm right now talking to a rock star, piano star, rock star. so where? How did it start for you? Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? What did you study?
So I grew up in London, and I went to school in quite a few different schools because I moved to different areas of London growing up. And probably one of the biggest things that kind of influenced my music is that when I was about 8 years old, my parents split up and my mum remarried someone who was really religious, very kind of strict religious beliefs. Um, and he believed that music was basically like a sinful thing. So all music was removed from the home that I lived in, and like the piano that I used to play when I was little was also removed. And those were really hard years. I'd say for about 10 years, I lived in that environment. And it was destructive in a lot of different ways. So when I was about 17, I moved out. And then really then I started taking music seriously. I had the chance to really explore my own creativity. But whilst I was living there in that house, I still managed to do music at school. So there was a school piano there, and I managed to kind of keep exploring music. So that always felt like a real escape for me. Um, and then, yeah, when I was 17, 18, I started doing loads of my own music, and I bought some secondhand equipment, and my brother gave me some of his equipment as well because he's also a musician. And I managed to start creating my own demos. Um, at first, it was piano compositions because
Hmm.
piano is my main instrument. And then later, I started writing songs and singing as well. So, yeah, and I think the main thing I did was just make sure that everyone that I knew that I was doing music, and I would share my music with all the people I knew. And I found that very quickly that is what led to doors opening, and the people that heard my music would then play my music to other people, and it just kind of snowballed and led to lots of opportunities. Yeah. So
Did you record something like a CD and just give to your friends, or how a CD?
yeah, yep, I recorded a CD and it's amazing actually that it managed to lead to opportunities, because when I look back on how bad on how bad the recording was and everything, because yeah, but it did. And yeah, I think the friends that I had at the time, a lot of them were like a bit older than me. They were kind of in their 30s or 40s, because it was often like places I was working, because I was working part-time whilst I was studying, and I studied English literature at university, so I didn't even do music. So yeah, I think that really helped. Like those people, yeah, spread the word about my music, and yeah, that's how it worked.
What kind of jobs did you have? Like a part-time jobs? What did you have?
I worked at the National Gallery in London, so that was one of my first like student jobs. And I also worked for a Chinese philosophical and herbal medicine specialist. Yeah, he was called Master Lau, and he has his clinic in South Kensington. And actually, it was a really life-changing experience working for him, because when I arrived there, I'd suffered a lot of trauma from my upbringing, and I was only about 17, 18 when I started working for him. And I spent about 2 years there, and it was just brilliant hearing his like wisdom, because of course he was all about like Chinese philosophy, and yeah, it really turned my life around, because I never had any belief in my music or that I could be successful. And he's the one that really said, no, if you believe it's your destiny, you have to take it seriously. And he said, every time you come to an obstacle, you just have to figure out a way to overcome the obstacle and then keep going. And it sounds so simple, but it was everything that unlocked the journey for me.
It indeed sounds simple, but it's very important. Probably the person who says it to you, you know. So maybe that's kind of a nudge or something which really like pushes you somewhere. So the way, first of all, when I checked your Spotify, I was shocked about the honesty you put in your bio. It's something does, and it was honest from the first words, and we already discussed it. It was the way you were brought up in your family. So thank you for that, because I think the fans, they really appreciate when the artists are honest with them. And first of all, thank you for that. The way I know you is, I think around 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, I live actually in Belgium, so I was on the train, and I also had some issues with psychologically also, and I found a way how to escape. I had to commute by train every day, so I found a way how to escape the people. So I bought myself very expensive headset, and I was listening to piano music in the headset. I went to the Spotify playlist piano, peaceful piano, and then, you know, when I was just listening to songs, everything, you have your songs all good, but then something stood out, and that was your song, which is called QI. Idea what means QI. I would have never thought that one day I'm gonna have this conversation with you. This is crazy, really. It's unbelievable, seriously. But what is the song about, QI? Because it's only piano, and why QI? What's that?
So it's pronounced chi, and it's basically, it means energy. It means energy in Chinese. And it's really, I started writing that piece of music when I was about 19 years old, and I didn't complete it until I was about 27 or 28. So nearly 10 years I was kind of working on it, although not always actively working like every day. I sort of went away, and then when I felt the time was right, I came back to the piece. And that is how I work on all of my music.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the piece is like, it's kind of about the universe. It's kind of about the flow of energy through all things. It's like a bit existential, actually, for me. And when I was writing it, it was quite an unconscious process. So I just sit at the piano and kind of feel my way through the melody, not really intellectually thinking about
Or about the next step. It's just like your...
Yeah, it was just like a natural flow. I can't really describe it. It's like being in a trance a little bit, where you're just feeling and sensing the sound and the journey of the notes, and you're not judging it, and not analyzing anything, just completely like a free expression. And that's the problem, partly. That is part of the problem with my process, because then when it stops, I can't make it happen. I have to just go away and carry on with my life. And then when I feel right, like I can sit down and do it again, and then find out where the next section goes or the next part. But that's why sometimes it takes 10 years.
I wrote this song in 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the song is beautiful. I mean, it's just amazing. I listened to it every day during 1 month, like every day, every single day on the train. I had it in my playlist. I was like, okay, I know this song.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
And your first EP or your first album, was it The Disappearance of the Girl,
Yeah,
right?
that's the first album. Yep. Yeah.
There you don't have yet music with lyrics. It's only pieces of piano. Am I right? I don't remember correctly.
Oh, Chi. So the album Chi is the one that has only pieces of piano,
Okay.
only piano pieces, and then the song album, yeah, Disappearance of the Girl, is the one with all the songs.
Yeah, you're right. And there is the song called the Wolf.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Everyone knows that I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song because it's kind of cinematic.
Yeah. That song for me is a kind of like really empowering song. So during my upbringing, I was really like treated really cruelly, and there were so many things that I wished that I could say. Actually, it was so bad. Like I felt literally like murderous towards the person who was treating me so badly. And in the song, I could voice all those feelings about how cruel it was to be treated that way, but then also how angry it made me feel. So yeah, just I'll leave with your head, I'll leave you for dead, sire, is really like showing that anger and that aggression towards that person who's treated you so badly.
And the idea of moving from piano pieces towards like complete songs, was it something you always wanted to do, or it's something that came up like out of nowhere?
I think it's kind of like I just have I've always written music for the piano, so that would never ever stop. Like ever since I was really little, I love playing on the piano. Um, and then the songwriting came a little bit later when I was more like, 19, 20. I started writing songs, and it's really hard to describe. It's kind of like sometimes I want to wear trousers and sometimes I want to wear a dress. It's like that. Sometimes I want to play on just for a piano piece and sometimes I want to write a song. They're really different things because of course with lyrics you can really communicate a whole story, and there's a lot of poetry. I love poetry, and that was one of the areas I studied on my degree course. So it gives a chance for a different kind of artistry. But then with piano, there's something spiritual about the minimalism of just one instrument, and there's no language there. I think sometimes language, when you introduce language and verbal communication, it can like restrict the meaning of the piece a little bit. It's not so open to interpretation. Like a piano piece is so open, people of any language can have an interpretation. So I like that about it.
Have you ever written a song for someone else?
Yeah, I've done some kind of collaborations with other artists. So Delirium and Sleep Thief, I've written like lyrics and a melody for them. But I don't normally collaborate just because my own process takes such a long time. There's not much I don't have much free time left over, after I spend 10 years on one thing.
What's your plans for 2021?
So I'm hoping to continue work on my next album, which will be a song album. I'm really excited about that. I've had some good breakthroughs in the creative process. And yeah, just kind of, I hope eventually I'll be able to play live again, maybe the year after next. It'd be nice to do a tour. So,
Are you planning to do some like live Instagram, live Facebook events or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think when I've settled on the songs, I'd really like to do some live performance things and some like Q&A sessions for people. That would be really great. Yeah.
And right now, do you write music every day? How does it work for you, or you have some other kind of routine?
If I feel, because actually it takes so much energy to write music, especially when you're drawing from an emotional source. So, I have to engage with my feelings really deeply to write music. That's the way I write. And so if I'm not feeling like I have enough energy to do that, like if I feel a bit depressed or hormonal or something, then I don't even bother. I just kind of do other things with that day. But days when my energy is good and I feel motivated, then I know that it will be easy when I sit at the piano. It will just come so easily. So yeah, just trust. Yeah.
Do you need to do it like, for instance, every morning or every evening? Do you have like a routine for that, for music, or it's really like whenever you feel like you want it?
It used to be whenever I felt like it, so I had no routine at all. But now that I have children, I have twin 4-year-olds.
Oh.
It's so different. So now now I can't just do music whenever I want. I have to have a little bit of a routine because I need childcare arrangements. Their dad looks after them for a few hours a day, and then I do music, and then we swap, and I look after them while he works. So it's a nice routine, but yeah, it's not so spontaneous for my creativity.
At home, do you have like a separate room only for your creative things? Did you do a studio or something, or how?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I would show you it, but it's so messy. It's so messy now. But yeah, this is where I am right now, is in my studio.
And do you have the? It's just yeah, a question for myself. Do you have all the acoustic things on the wall which really filter the sound and things like that?
Yeah, I do. I have, well, it's not like properly treated because my microphone style is very close mic. So
Mhm.
because I'm not projecting my voice, there's the reverberation is not a major problem for me. Um, I mean, it is a bit of an issue, but it's not a massive problem. So I have bass tracks that hang around the walls, and that does absorb, it absorbs some of
Mhm.
the reflections. Yeah, yeah.
What mic do you have, by the way?
Which mic? It's a Neumann. I can't remember the exact model. I'm so bad at remembering technology
Okay.
facts, but it's a really good Neumann mic. It costs like a few £1,000s, so it's one of the good ones.
Yeah, well, it should be at least, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
for such price. And whenever you write your song, so the arrangements, first of all, do you work with somebody to do the arrangement, the full, you know, the new songs of yours, Wild Sea, for instance, the arrangement itself, it's done by somebody else or also by yourself?
No, I do all of the arrangements. Like I've always done all the arrangements myself. But what I do is like often I'll like say with percussion, because I'm not a percussionist, I
Mhm.
tend to sometimes I'll do like a guide, I'll program a guide percussion part and then with a kind of rough groove, and then I'll send it to like Adam Faulkner or Ollie Harding, some of the examples of people who have done drums on my recent albums. And I'll send it to them and just say, "This is a guide, but you know, you're the pro, so bring what you think instinctively feels right." And then I do a I'd say I do the majority of the programming as well, the kind of synth and the
Yeah.
keyboards and the string and choir and backing vocal arrangements. I do all of those. But if I've run out of my own like synth ideas, I might then send it to like a synth programmer and just say, "Can you think of anything to add?" But yeah, the vast majority of the core of all of the arrangements, I put that together on my own. Yeah.
Did you take a long time to learn to all that process? Because it's like, I mean, it's very difficult.
Mm. Interesting. Like for me, it feels really instinctive. Like I have an ear for what should go where and if there are too many sounds on one frequency and stuff like that. I guess I've learnt it gradually through the years. When I listened back to my first work and it was terrible, obviously I was not very good, but I thought I was good. I thought, you know, I felt good enough about what I was doing to keep going.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think it's really good to have confidence, even if actually you're still quite a beginner.
yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. That's why I'm doing the show. I'm not a public speaker in my regular life, so for me it's also like a challenge, but I love it seriously. I love it. I spoke to so many talented people and tried to work with all those people as well to try and support them as well. I have a question regarding the mixing and mastering. Do you also do it yourself or you hire someone?
No, I do. I mean, the thing I do mix all of the arrangements, and I provide a reference mix for the mixer. But I'm not really confident that my mixes are like top level mixes. I mean, they're okay, and some people really like them, but I prefer to send the mixes to like Ross Cullen mixed Wave Your
Mm-hmm.
Flags, and actually he produced Disappearance of the Girl, so I love working with him. And actually Enya, Kate Bush, he's worked with so many awesome, really visionary artists. Um, but yeah, also Matt Lawrence, who
Mm-hmm.
is a great mixer, and he won a Grammy for some work with Mumford and Sons. He's a really, really good music person. And then for mastering, I tend to send it to Electric Mastering. where Guy Davis is there, and he's worked on loads of really fantastic records as well.
Okay, that's interesting that you really work with lots of different people, even on the same track. It's very interesting because yeah, lots of times when a musician is contacting a music producer, we all always expect that the person will be able to do all everything, to mix and master and produce the music, and it's not always true. So
Mm.
it would probably find to build a team around yourself and work with different people with who it's comfortable for you.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I quite like. I mean, saying that, I've worked with like Israel Curtis, who does a lot of Sleep Thief. That he's part of Sleep Thief. I worked with him on The Deep. He did a lot of programming, and honestly, his work just made that song fantastic. It brought it to a whole new level, and he did mix it and he did master it all himself, and it was outstanding. Really, really great work. So yeah, I definitely think both paths are totally cool. Yeah.
And for yourself at home, do you do you record and write in how you call it, Logic Pro, or do you? I think
Yeah.
everybody's doing that. I mean, you're not the first one who's saying a Logic Pro. So yes, I ordered my MacBook. So
Yeah.
because I haven't had one before, so I ordered it now finally.
Oh, that's good. You'll really enjoy it, I'm sure. So easy to use. It's perfect for, yeah, just kind of starting to program and produce, because it's really easy to use. Yeah.
Alrighty, going back to your music. So I told you that I felt like you were sharing a piece of honesty, a piece of yourself with the listener, and I think asking you where does the inspiration come from, it's no need, because we all understand from the first words in your bio, from the first words talking to you, we already understand where does the inspiration come. Have you ever had a song where you had to push the inspiration, like you wanted to write about something completely else, something else different, and you had to push and sit down and really like work on it?
No, because to me it feels like not very authentic, if it ever feels that way. And actually, I know, like maybe sometimes I might. I don't really do it anymore, but when I was first starting out in music, there maybe were times when someone would say, "This needs to have a middle eight, so the structure is complete for the song in conventional terms." And then I kind of like tried to write a middle eight just with like any lyrics that were good. But actually, I never liked the result.
Yes.
It was always like a little bit, I don't know, cheesy or corny, and not really, because I think it's clear to listeners when someone is expressing something true to how they feel, because it comes out in a way that's like universal, like a sort of universal truth of emotion, because everyone's felt that kind of feeling before. But then if you're sort of intellectualizing it too much, and it's just like a line that you don't really feel, I think it shows. I think it shows to the listener as well, and definitely to me. Like I take no pleasure in performing like that kind of material. But yeah.
What about inspiration in terms of, is there someone who inspires you, or a band, musician, whatever, anyone, your best friend?
I really like. Oh, there's this artist called Soap and Skin.
Soap and Skin.
Who I
Okay.
really like, and she's not like really well known, but and it's not that I listen to every single thing she releases, but I would say that her music has made like a big impact in my enjoyment of music. So yeah, there's a few things that she's done. She's done a song called Wonder, which I really love, and there's another one.
What's up?
I think it's called Thanatos, but I can't remember exactly. I might not be
I'll
pronouncing
check
it.
her out. Sure. No,
Yeah, out. Yeah.
I'll do that. And is there some? Yeah.
Sorry, there's one called Sugar Bread, which is really like unsettling in the introduction. So it's just, yeah, I like the artistry of what she does a lot. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I will check her out for sure. And is there anything else that you'd like to learn in the next years?
Yeah, there are so many things, but mainly, I love gardening.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I really want to learn more about permaculture, which is a kind of approach to gardening where you're caring for the environment and the soil
Hmm.
and also people as well. So you're able to grow enough vegetables for yourself and also to give to other people as surplus. So yeah, I'm really interested in that.
Do you have a big garden right now?
Yeah, we do. Luckily, we have a big garden and we grow most vegetables every summer. So yeah, it's really enjoyable. I love it.
That's nice. You're spending your time outside, you breathe fresh air, you
Yeah.
have your fruits. If only we didn't have so many snails in the soil, I would have also my vegetables, but it's impossible, really. We tried already with my boyfriend, we already tried like uh, eggplants and tomatoes and all the possible things, but we have so many snails, it's impossible.
Wow, I'm amazed. Do the snails eat the tomato plants as well? Or
Yeah, they do eat it. They go in the tomato and they make a
oh,
hole inside, and it was like really. Like,
wow.
but there are lots of snails, really. So it's another topic.
Maybe you need chickens. If you get chickens like
No,
to eat the snails.
I would
So if
love
you get
chicken. Yeah,
chicken, it would help to eliminate the snails naturally.
I'll call you up next time when we. I'm gonna ask some advice. Okay.
Yeah.
What about advice that you could give to someone who wants to do the same as you, who wants to play piano, who wants to sing, and be more independent and work at home, try record and do all the things at home? Do you have some particular resources?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need that much. Just get some really good quality plugins. So Oxford Sonox do a really fantastic range of compressors, reverbs, limiters, like everything. It's a little bit expensive, maybe a few £100, but it's worth it because the things you record will be very quickly like industry standard. And then a digital distribution like TuneCore is brilliant. I use them. It's so cost effective. You just pay like a little bit of money to distribute once, and then it's actually yearly. I think you have to repay again, but they don't take any percentage from what you earn. So for me, it's really, really worthwhile doing it that way. So yeah, I recommend that too. And other than that, just keep having fun. If it's not feeling fun, don't do it.
Yeah, indeed. And what about the keyboard? What do you have right now?
I've got it's called a Yamaha Clavinova, and it's an upright digital piano.
Mhm.
So I'll see if I've got. Um, it's a CLP 970. And yeah, it basically you can play it like a normal upright piano. It uses hammer action and it feels like playing a real piano, but it's digital and it's got MIDI inputs and outputs. So yeah, I can use it programming all the synth parts as well. So
Yeah,
that's
that's nice.
yeah, it's really good.
Okay, going to the end of our wonderful interview, I was wondering, who do you want to amplify? I would love to contact that person and ask him or her or them for an interview and try and support them a bit.
Mm. Yeah, I would actually say, can it be anything creative?
Anything, anything
Okay.
create.
I've worked with an amazing prop designer who actually she made the ram mask. which I've got here for the whole album of yeah. Let me go and I'll go and get the RAM mask. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah. So she made this,
Uh-huh.
and she's a fantastic prop designer, and her name is Claire Grotefeld. So I would say get in touch with her, and yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do that for sure. I mean, that's
Does
very interesting.
photos.
I know no one who does such things. So for me, it's going to be especially interesting. And I think the people around me, they will also appreciate that. Phildel, where can we find you?
So I'm on Spotify and Instagram mainly. I think those are mainly my two things now. And it's instagram.com/ I think it's Phildel.official, or it might actually be Phildel official. I can't remember which one. But yeah, Instagram. Do an Instagram search.
Do you have your website?
Oh yeah, that's it's Phildel.com. So
Phildel.com.
yeah, there's that too.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so thankful. You're such a nice person, and I can't believe that we really had this chat because honestly, I told you at the beginning I was like shaking. I didn't know where it's gonna go, and I'm so happy. You are so honest and so attractive for the fans in terms of like your honesty and your soul is attracting the others. It's very nice, and
thank you.
I will be looking forward to hear more music from you in 2021, to hear your new album. We'll be promoting your songs on my pages.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Thank you. And well, go back to the things you were doing before. Go back to gardening, learn some gardening.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Thanks, Phildel. Say hi to your kids.
Thank you, I will. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for listening and thanks a lot for watching. Don't hesitate to put some comments, don't hesitate to put a like and to share it with your friends. See you next week. Bye bye.